Hi everyone, thanks for tuning in. Today we're going to start a new series on this Kyoten, Words for Work. Thank you, Lord God, Master Okawa, for giving us this precious treasure for humanity. So today I'm going to go ahead and do an introduction to this Kyoten and then to the teachings of work that Alcantara Master Okawa has provided for us. So to begin with, I would like to read out loud the afterword and commentary, and I quote, I wrote down essential phrases on work that came to my mind. They cover guiding principles for all who are working, from new employees to CEOs. I hope that this book will provide insight into the attitude you should have toward your work and the important mindset for those in managerial and executive positions. Ryuho Okawa, Master and CEO of Happy Science Group, December 12, 2022. Thank you, Lord God. All right, so it's the word series, right? Here, there's 100 short phrases regarding Alcantara's view on work. And as the afterword mentioned, it provides a guiding principle from new employees all the way to a CEO. So for any of us who has a job or who's working, this is a new Bible for work. Now, today I would like to talk about, in general, how Happy Science views work. I'm going to be mentioning a little bit from this Kyoten, The Heart of Work, the first chapter, and I quote, we human beings are not made to just sit around and do nothing at all. We are imbued with a desire to work. This aptitude is something we are born with, not something we acquire later in life. It is a fundamental part of being human. That's from page 16. Also on page 18 on the bottom, he says this. The essence of work is very closely related to the nature of human beings. God gave us the desire to work so that he could share his joy of creation with us. Thank you, Lord God. All right, so if you look at Alcantara's teachings regarding the aspect of work, which fills out most part of our life. It's actually a fundamental part of our lives. And he has a very positive aspect to it, looking at it from the moment of creation, from the moment of the Genesis in Happy Science teachings. He says that we were imbued with the desire to work. So it's already in the fabric of our souls to want to work. So what does work mean? Later on in this Kyoten, Master explains that it is the joy of creation, meaning through work, we produce a new value. We human beings, compared to animals, we have a highly productive nature, and we have the ability, using our unique talents that each of us have, to create something new. And that is called producing value. When we produce value, we get rewarded by it through one, monetary compensation, or from, feeling satisfaction and being thanked by the people we provided the service to. So as you can see, Alcantara has taught us work is good. It's actually a joy for our souls. Now, the reason why I'm mentioning this in the first video is because in the Genesis of the Bible, it looks at the term work in a very different way. They use the term labor. And because Adam and Eve did not follow God's rule, God gave humanity labor as a punishment. So when it comes to labor and the meaning of work, labor doesn't have a positive connotation to it, right? It's like you're being forced to do something out of punishment. And then also labor, a different meaning for labor in English, is the pain that the women have. So in both ways, the term labor is used in a negative connotation as a punishment. That's the stark difference, I think, of Happy Science, Alcantara teachings on work, and the Christian view on work. Of course, when it turns into Protestantism, they value wealth, and they see that creating wealth on behalf of God is like the proof of the glory of God through good work. So producing value through good work. So, however, fundamentally, though, in the first book of the Bible, the Old Testament, you're ingrained with these sentences. But here at Happy Science, we have a very positive aspect to it. Of course, however, I'm not saying that work is always completely joyful. It brings joy because it's hard. It brings joy because it provides us a soul training. So here's the stark difference of the joy that comes from work and the joy that comes from pleasure. A vacation, a pleasurable thing, is something that we want to do every once in a while. But let's say that you're there forever. You're not probably going to like it as much. However, the joy that comes from work, the compensation that we get from it, and the joy of creating something is a long-lasting happiness for our souls. So that's the spiritual view of work that Master's talked about. And now I said spiritual, right? He also says spirituality and work capability must be combined in the modern world. So if you are a very enlightened person, then you must be good at work. And if you're good at work, you must also become a spiritually enlightened person. This has to be balanced. That's what the Lord is teaching us in this lifetime. That's what the rebirth of Buddha is teaching us this time. That's what Alcantarian incarnation is telling us this time. Marry the two, enlightenment and work capability. By doing so, going back to spirituality and religion, if you have a high work competency, you actually can provide more work of salvation. So it goes hand in hand. So that's the overall view of introduction of how Alcantari views work. It's different from labor. So with that as an introduction, starting tomorrow, we're going to look into each and every phrases of this new Kyoten that Master has published. Thank you, and let's go on this journey together to study and improve our work abilities. Thank you very much, and see you again tomorrow. Bye.